Guys, we are back. I messed up my green screen a little bit, so we'll ignore that for the sake of now. I cannot be able to try and fix it as I try and fix it. It's so difficult to figure out what way I've moved it. But essentially what happened was I bumped into it. There we go. A little bit better, a little bit grainy, but that's just my lack of lighting. So it's all good. We're going to be heading into our third series of today, so my voice is starting to go, but got an additional drink, had a little bit of a stretch of my legs as well. And we're going to be heading into my most looked forward to match of Season 2 so far. Let's have a look. It's going to be SouL versus White Clan. Now, SouL, historically, against White Clan. They're 2-2 against each other. The finals, as a matter of fact, were an ace match. It was a best of 7, the grand final. SouL did win in the end, with Noob taking down Best in the most insane PvP I've seen. Now, both teams are 4-0 in this round, in this series. Man, words, use my words. Essentially, they're both completely perfect records. Well, SouL are actually perfect. I think White Clan have dropped a single map. So this is going to be an incredibly important matchup. This could actually decide who ends up going first into the playoff bracket at the end of the season. But really, really good teams, both of them. And I'm really looking forward to be able to bring you these two rosters to watch together. We're going to start with a PvT between Noob and Iris. Now, this isn't the main Iris that you may remember. He plays under the ID Berserker now, and he's not on White Clan. Then we're going to have a TvT between Scan and Tengu on Carthage 3. Scan always seems to get TvT recently. Then we're going to have a PvP between Bonneth and Cubic on Desperado. And then we're going to have a ZVZ between Spire and Fairy on Neo Outlier. Then, of course, if we do get to it, we will have an ace match on New Tornado. Now let's quickly introduce both of our two players. In fact, I think the best way I can do that is if we have a look at the player table. The player table obviously using the ELO system that we have set up in the STPL. All STPL events will go towards this. Noob top by far. He's over 21, or he's 21 ELO higher than Scan. He's 24 wins, 3 losses overall. Against Protoss, he's got an unbeaten record of 9-0. And against Terran, he's 10 wins, 2 losses. So Iris is certainly going to have trouble here against Noob. I'm not even going to bring up the player history screen for Noob because I don't think I need to after showing his position. And let's have a look at his opponent. Going to be Iris for White. Now, Iris hasn't played too many games, but the games he's come out and played since round 2 of Season 1. In fact, he hasn't played since round 2 of Season 1. The only game he actually lost was against Yeti from Net Wars. He beat everyone else he come across. He's got an 83% win ratio himself, and he's actually ranked 27 in the overall ELO system. So let's have a look at the map they're going to be playing on. It's going to be, whoops, this is the wrong button. But okay, let's we'll look at the map as we get into the game. It's fine. It's going to be on Neo Arkanoid. You guys have seen it before today. I've gone through the map twice, so hopefully it should all be good, and hopefully you guys know the map by now. But if you don't, you're going to be on or in for a very big treat. I love this map, and it's led to some incredibly good games in the STPL Season 2. So, blue versus red as well. Starting us off down here in the red, we do have the Terran fighting from South Korea for White Clan. It's Iris. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand side, we have the light blue Protoss fighting for SouL from South Korea as well. It's Noob, aka Adjunct12, one of the old B-teamers on one of the old Pro League teams. I can never remember which team he played on. He may have been an... I don't think he was an A-teamer. Let me have a look quickly. Yeah, he played on We Made Fox, but I don't think he actually played that many games. Obviously, he came back in 2018 and joined all of the Values, did a ton of good work in those. He actually came first in 4 of the ones he played and got 2nd in 1, and then the rest were 3rd and 4th positions. So he's a very, very strong Protoss player. Iris has done pretty well in Korean tournaments. Unfortunately, I don't have his accolades to pass, but obviously this isn't the pro gamer Iris. This is a different one. Now, just to answer one of the things you think said in chat, I know he's not throwing shade or anything, but when you say, wow, he lost to Yeti, like, Yeti is such a good Protoss player. Like, I know when you look at his individual league results, like, Yeti isn't stellar. He's not done incredibly well in the BSL or anything like that before, but much like Future for Media in Season 1, team leagues are an entirely different beast, and that's one of my favorite things about hosting one, because you see a lot of players who maybe not the best in individual league settings, where in a series perhaps they may not do as well. In a team league, in a best of 1 situation, anyone can win, and it all comes down to who prepares the best. Now, when you look at like the grand finals of Season 1 where you had SouL versus White Clan, it was a really amazing climax. Obviously, we got to the Game 7 of a best of 7. And we had both Yeti and Best, Best being SK Telecom's best, not Yeti, sorry, Noob and Best. Noob and Best both went for DT openings, and Noob won. Like, Noob beat SK Telecom T1's Best, obviously still an S-rank pro gamer these days. If you saw KSL today, you would have seen his games. I'm not going to spoil the outcome of them, but they were very, very fun. And very, very well worth watching if you haven't seen them already. So do check out the VODs on the StarCraft channel. And essentially, like, Noob is just an incredibly, incredibly strong player. And so is Iris. Like, I'm excited to see Iris after this massive hiatus, because White Clan have such a big and diverse roster. It makes it very rare we get to see the same people very often. Like, there are a few mainstays, like FamSE has been playing almost constantly since round 1. Cubic has been playing a lot more recently as well, but in the end of Season 1 he wasn't playing too often. And like, just to remind you guys, White Clan, they have Hire, they have Best, they have Mind, they have Shuttle, and they have like 815 and stuff as well. So White Clan have a very, very deep and very, very strong roster. And in the STPL, they don't send them out because they don't need to. Their entire clan is just so good that they don't need their pro gamers. Like, these are top amateur players in both White Clan and SouL as well. Obviously, Scan still in the military, I think, for a little bit longer. But we've got Noob going for a 1-base Reaver build here to begin with. A little bit of a risky build in this series. Obviously, this map, you would think, would be better for Terran, but when we look at the STPL statistics, it's actually tied up 5-5 TVP, so very even map. Really, really cool to see that as well. Now, Engineering Bay coming in for Iris. He has got his armory coming in as well, so he's going to go for a couple of Goliaths most likely, into some turrets as well. He's going to be able to scout using his using his barracks. Going to see the Nexus, super important, but it depends on how much damage he can mitigate from this Reaver. If this Reaver does a ton of damage, the game could very well go in Noob's favor. Now, CRVT, have you played against this Iris recently? Because just a reminder, this isn't the pro gamer Iris. This is a different Iris. I think he's like an Iris fan or something. The actual pro gamer Iris that used to play for... Was he on CJ? I can never remember. But he is called Berserker now, and he's not on White Clan. But here we go, the Reaver is going to be coming in. There's a shuttle here as well, but it's going to be running directly into 2 spawning Goliaths. So needs to be careful. Oh my god, this Reaver Scarab could be massive. Oh, the first Scarab duds. The second Scarab. Oh, it doesn't dud, but he doesn't do too much damage. But the issue is, the shuttle is in a very, very dangerous spot right now. He's going to have to try and trade against the Goliaths, and the Reaver Could very well go down, but looks like he's trying his best. Oh, he gets the Goliaths. Very, very big moves. He's going to get the SCV, or the Marines as well. But Iris is already getting ready to take 3 bases. Looks like the 3rd base isn't coming up just yet, but Noob with really, really good Reaver micro. Keeping that Reaver alive with essentially about 1 hit of HP left. So super, super important. How much HP does it actually have? 10. This is the kind of damage that Noob needs to be doing, because essentially he was behind in economy and he's caught up. Like, he's now getting close to Iris's SCV count. He's going to be flooding gateways. He's got an additional 2 Reavers back at home. And he's going to use this Reaver to just break down the buildings faster. Why not? It's not very good to drop in your opponent's bases because it's so close to death. And he's got another shuttle full of Reavers now that he can go to harass with. Yeah, I mean, the main thing was oh no, he loses the Reaver shuttle. Oh my goodness, that was a massive pick-off for Iris. Oh man, that could have just won Iris the game, actually. That is a massive amount of damage. Now the important thing is, Iris is still stuck on 2 base. He's been building pretty much nothing but Goliaths. And here comes another shuttle, but unfortunately there's no additional Reavers to go in it. And Noob still is behind in economy, so he needs to make something happen still. Now, Scarabs actually take a very long time to kill these buildings, so it's not the most efficient way to do it. Looks like the Reaver, not going to be able to find too much damage here. Is going to delay the command center a little bit. I'm going to be able to kill this turret. But not exactly the damage he's hoping for, realistically. He gets a nice Scarab down on this, oh, what the hell? How did the Goliath survive? Okay, he gets both of them, but he loses the Reaver. That's the 3rd Reaver down. This is definitely not a good position for Noob to be in. Iris is in a very, very strong position here in game number 1. Iris going to take his 3rd base right now. Noob is a long way away from being able to afford a 3rd base up here. The Chrysalists have still not been taken down, but here we go. There is a 3rd base, and it's in the top left. This is the farthest point on the map away from Iris. Iris is going to have to kill a ton of buildings to be able to get through there. Now we do have another Reaver in a very badly bruised shuttle. Now let's hope it doesn't get caught off guard this time by the turret. No, he doesn't. Now, harassing with the shuttle is incredibly brave. This shuttle is going to go down almost immediately to a single turret. This is not what I'd expect from Noob here, but Noob going to drop his Reaver down. Doesn't manage to get a Scarab off before he gets shot, so he does take a lot of damage on it. Gonna fly away for now. The issue is here, Noob is building this Nexus up here, but he can't properly transfer probes. The only way he can do it is by shuttling them. And that takes a long time. It's only 8 probes at a time. And here we go, looks like Noob wants to push forward. Now, Iris does have a lot of his units out of position. Obviously, if he does break through this temple, though, it's going to open up a push path a little bit later on for Iris. Now, with this turret, he's able to tell that this temple's being killed, which is super, super important. If we actually have a look at Iris's vision, he sees it. And obviously, Dragoons against tanks behind a wall is not something you want to be dealing with. So Iris is going to move all his tanks. Now, this could be a good moment for Noob to swing around and try and do damage at the other base. Here we go. Another shuttle. Very badly damaged. No, he can't lose it. Another 2 Reavers go down in a shuttle. Noob making an incredible fatal error there. Once again, losing 2 full Reaver shuttles. Not the best day for Noob here. Very, very unfortunate. Noob, of course, does have his 3rd base. But yeah, this is definitely a very poor situation from Noob. This is probably one of the worst situations I've seen Noob in. But Noob is such a strong player. Don't rule him out just yet. You can never be too sure what's going to happen until it happens. And if he gets enough units, maybe he can make something happen. Now, no probes have been able to be shuttled up here, so he's had to build them. He is going into an additional 3 gateways. Templar Archives is coming in. And we should see a Stargate coming up shortly after that, most likely. Yeah, the Stargate's coming up in the natural, so we are going to see Arbiter Tech from here. Recall obviously incredibly strong on this map. And Noob is going to have the advantage, at least momentum-wise for the moment. As Iris is going to have to sit back. He's wasted a ton of money on turrets. Like, I know this is very important that he killed the 2 Reaver shuttles, but just look at how many turrets he's had to build. And how, like, much that affects his economy. It's a ton of minerals that aren't in CCs, that aren't in factories, and aren't in units. And more importantly, Noob is very, very close in terms of worker supply as well. So things are certainly down, but not out for Noob here. Okay, so Noob gonna secure a path up to his 3rd base. The important thing is this is gonna give him a way of building turrets up here as well. Not turrets, gateways. Turrets on the mind. Looks like we are going to have the Arbiter Tribunal coming in. It is in a position where Noob or Iris is not likely to scan again. So that could be a little bit of an advantage if you manage to get a hidden Arbiter come in, maybe with a recall. Now, obviously Iris is still in a very good position. He supply blocked himself though to break out of his base. And this push is really going to be the strong point here. +1 attack is done. +2 attack. Wow, +2 attack is very late in this game. So Iris, not in the best position. He doesn't have that big 2-1 Terran mech ball yet. He only has +1 attack. Now, there's no Arbiter just yet. We should see a Stasis researching straight away and an Arbiter coming in. If Noob remembers, he needs to make sure he gets these upgrades going, but he needs as many units as possible as well. He's seen the fact the Terran army is moving out, and this is what he's doing with his units. He is preparing. He's got Storm in the shuttle. Maybe he can get some big storms coming down here. He can actually drop a High Templar on this high ground, and that is a very nice position to storm from. It's also a very nice place to nuke from as well. You can even, I think you can fit a tank up there. Looks like we are going to have a Vulture moving in just to see what's going on. Obviously Noob, now his tech is in the worst possible location because he's not going to be able to save it if Iris does break into this base. But Noob's still not in the worst position, I don't think. 2-1 isn't done. Obviously he cannot engage this Terran mech ball where it is due to these power generators creating a choke. Unfortunately the way he broke open the middle of the map is not really helping him too much here. And Noob is actually sitting back with his units. He's just building up as much supply as he can. Now, where is the shuttle gone? There's a shuttle here waiting to storm, but I don't see it anymore. It's down here. Okay, so he's going to wait until the Terran opens this up. Nice scan coming down here for Iris. Gonna see that there's a shuttle and units here to try and defend against this. Now, let's have a look. Looks like he is going to drop out and storm, but loses the shuttle again. The storm doesn't do that much damage, and Noob is losing just tons and tons of shuttles here. Not the best game from him, but Iris is playing one of the games of his life right now as he is pushing up against one of the strongest players in the league. And he could very well put a big dent in Noob's ELO here. Now, Iris gonna push forward once again. Nice storm by Noob this time. And obviously the further he pushes forward, the better the units are going to be from the back. Looks like he's going to try and open the very middle of the map and come in for a counter. But look at this. Look at how many turrets Iris is building, man. He is building. Like, this guy is turret, man. Like, you do not need this many turrets against Protoss. But you know what? When you want to win and you know you're ahead, just spend the money. DT is going to be super strong. Oh my god, this DT could be massive. Oh my god, the DT gets a tank. There's another DT behind this. The scan goes down, but not before nearly killing 2 of the tanks. Here we go. Looks like we are going to have the counter in play. Looks like it's going to be defended, and Iris is going to lose his main chunk of his army up here. Noob is. The Arbiter Tribunal survives. The Arbiter upgrade is finished researching, so Iris's army not actually that strong right now, but look at this, the tanks in the back just making it very difficult for Noob to be able to do anything here. And we really need to see Noob just try and migrate himself to the top left. If he can do that, it's going to be very difficult for Iris to expand to another base that's actually healthy. We've got the Stargate underpowered though, the Arbiter Tribunal is going to go down, and there is a vessel here getting ready for an EMP, searching for that Arbiter, because if he stops the stasis, oh, the EMP gets it right there. Now the only move that Noob has is to completely move everything he has to the top left. All his tech, all his gateways. It's going to take a very, very long time for Noob to push through this, for Iris to push through this, sorry. And I mean, if he can move everything up, maybe he can make something happen. There is another Stargate here pumping Arbiters, so that's at least a benefit. And the 4th base is now up. I guess this is the 5th base, but 4th base for all intents and purposes at the moment. Now, we have a little bit of an Artosis pylon situation going on here. Going to unpower the 4 gateways. But realistically, he isn't going to be building anything from them for a while. So, or anything at all ever again, I think, due to where the Terran army is. But look at this. Iris pushing through at the perfect angle, making this very, very inefficient for Noob to deal with anything he's doing. A lot of the Zealots just running in and dying. The tanks doing so much damage to the units at the back, and some of the Dragoons actually getting caught off guard at the top middle there. Now there is a Vulture heading up to the top left. Is there actually any defense? No, there is not. A single Zealot comes out. Oh my god, he's going to lose a High Templar. Okay, luckily enough, Iris not microing his Vulture because he is focusing on this front push. Noob is just trying to hold on for as long as possible because, I mean, Iris is nearly mined out. He's mined out this main very, very closely. He's mined out this natural first. His 3rd base cannot be that healthy. And if Noob can hold on in the top left-hand corner, he can still win this game. He's going to have 3 completely healthy bases. But when you're trying to relocate everything, it makes it very, very hard. Now look at these. The Vulture's going to come in and try and intercept the probes that he knows are going to be coming up to the top right here. And he's going to get some mines down on some of these units. But luckily enough, Noob does manage to stop them. Now there's no scan. The scan finally coming in, but not without losing a couple of tanks. Obviously every little helps in this engagement. Now Noob has managed to get most of his units, most of his stuff up to the top left, but his main base is slowly being sieged down. And Noob really doesn't have that big of an army. He's got a lot of gateways up here though. That is a massive benefit, because without these gateways he'd be in a very big amount of trouble. But look at this. 3rd base from Iris nearly mined out. Main base very close to done as well. I mean, he's going to expand to this base, but Noob already mined this out essentially, so it's not the best. Looks like Noob is trying to go for the panic DT route, but unfortunately there's a vessel here. Now, are we going to see Noob being able to clear out the army in the middle of the map? If he can somehow do that, I really do believe he has to open up this more. If he can open up this more, he's not going to be put in a similar situation. But Iris playing this map perfectly right now. Tanks hidden behind all the walls, just making it very difficult for our Protoss player to move through. All of Noob's tech is gone, essentially. Well, I say that, but he's adding on more gateways up here, and cannons as well, just to try and help defend. And here we go, there's going to be a big engagement in the middle of the map. Double vessel, where is the Arbiter? Can we get a big stasis? No EMP. Oh, does he dodge the EMP? Oh, the EMP! No, he doesn't get it. No EMP going down, so this Arbiter is going to live to stay. Oh my god, this could be the world's biggest stasis right now. Dodging the EMP. Let's see it come in. No, he doesn't stasis, but look at the Storm! The Storm doing so much damage! Oh my god, he cleans up the army in the middle of the map. That was an incredible Storm. This High Templar, 4 kills, all of them siege shanks, losing both of the vessels. There's still stasis energy here, but he needs to use it. Oh, the Arbiter goes down before he can stasis. The units in the bottom here for Iris pushing through still. The 4th base is finally up. The 3rd base from Iris still not mined out, but very, very close to done so. Noob still on 3 bases though. He's got 3 very healthy bases. He's almost even in supply, and he is showing how tenacious Protoss can be. You can lose your main and you can still come back given enough time. He has a massive gateway army in the map again. He's going to try and take down these tanks. And if he does, that is going to be a massive win from here. This has been a fantastic TVP so far. And oh my god, this mine. The mine. Oh, the mines at the back. They're killing all of the tanks. Brilliant mine drag by Noob there. Very unfortunate by Iris. And those are the moves that Noob needs to get back in this game. He's still got units in his main, but he's continued to build gateway units over here. So he's got a flank coming in. Now Iris, of course, has still got a big army. Noob is still stuck fighting in unfavorable locations. He's still losing his main. His tech is still up though. He's taken so long to push through into this tech, and there's only actually 2 tanks here now. He can go and clean this out again, and if he does that, he can kill the only remaining mining base of Iris. I mean, this base, I mean, you can call this mining, but not for long. He's going to try and expand to the top right, but Noob's not going to allow that to happen, I don't think. He still has... Wait, does he have Arbiter Tech again? Yeah, he does, and he's almost got Recall. Recall just about finishing up. If he recalls this base when Iris tries to expand, yes, it's going to kill the base, but he's going to trap all of his units again. So this is going to be a very, very, very important decision for Noob. Now, Iris is still pushing forward. He's breaking his way through these big temples, and he is going to go for one of the bases, much like he did before with flipping... What was the last ASL's catchphrase? It was like flipping the... Flip the phrase or something. It was really, really weird, but it's kind of like that. That's what we're doing. Okay, I mean, we have a lot of 3-1 tanks here. Let's see what the upgrades are doing like for Noob. 2 attack. Not bad. We've got this base, though, being taken out by Noob in the bottom right-hand corner. And that means Iris is only now mining from 4 mineral patches. Noob has a massive bank. And Noob is going to be the one to expand in the top right. He's got a shuttle. He builds his Nexus. And he's going to be able to be a little bit more tenacious. Because if he holds on against this army, it's pretty much game over. A big recall going into the natural base here of Noob, or of Iris even. But the trouble is this going to be the situation I told you about, where he just has no units defending anymore? He still has a ton of army. Noob is so far ahead in this game now, despite all odds. Noob has done a fantastic job coming back, and let's have a look, see if the mine drags are going to be good. They're going to be good for Iris. Wow, taking out a lot of those zealots even. But here we go, the tanks pushing into the top middle. The Stargate's here again. There's a Robo. He's going to lose more tech. I mean, luckily enough, he's still got his Templar Archives down here. And he's got another Stargate, but looks like we're going to have Noob taking down the Science Fleet. This is going to be massive. White Iris cannot expand. He's sending his CC over, but he can't land it. There's 2 Zealots there. This is do or die. Look at the amazing stasis. Massive storms coming down from Noob as well. And it looks like Noob may have done it. He has done what people were not expecting. CRBT in chat a bit ago was like, well, Noob's dead. He lost 2 Reaver shuttles. He lost his 3rd base, but it doesn't matter. Noob showing why he is the #1 ranked player in the STPL. Actually, double defense matrixing, just trying to keep this tank alive as long as humanly possible. And the final remaining units that Iris will have this game are now flooding up. The CC cannot land. There's actually another CC up here as well. The Vulture's going to come in, lay a load of mines, see if they can trade as efficiently as possible, and see if he can make something happen. But he's not going to be able to dent Noob's economy right now. An EMP completely missing everything. Iris definitely a little bit flustered here. Noob has done such an amazing... Oh my god, that mine. That's a boom emote moment, if ever. But GG. Iris taps out, and Noob takes game #1 in a super exciting TVP. Okay, and I'm completely pressing all the wrong buttons here. That was an amazing PvT by Noob, showing his strength. Iris played a very good game, but Noob's engagements were absolutely perfect every single time. Obviously, early on, it looked like he was going to die, but he played patiently, he pulled back. He was like, I'm going to lose my main, it's fine. I'll just build gateways a little bit further back so I can keep building units, and I'll build gateways in the top left-hand corner. And that decision won Noob the game. Iris was unfortunately unable to take another base, and Noob with the big recall in the end, just kind of cementing everything as well. Now, that was a fantastic game, and we're going to get into another one when we get back after this short break. It's going to be Scan versus Tengu on Carthage 3. See you guys very soon.
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Been detected. Where has he put the nuke though? Oh man. I know it's somewhere in this location. But where? Where is the nuke? It's definitely... There we go. It's on top of the sunken dome. Boom! And the nuke goes down. And so does all the drones. What a nuke right there. Oh, here we go.
Nuclear launch detected.
Oh boy. The nuke on the position again. It's on this base. This poor base. I can't see the red dot though. Where on earth is the red dot? Maybe he's put it on like the blood or something. There we go. Directly on the hatcher, on the lair. Absolutely abolished one. Annihilated the base. Man. Oh man. There we go. The nuke is going to go down. Can it get the hatchery? Yes it can. 300 minerals in the drink. We see more and more ultra stream. Remaining science. Nuclear launch detected. The red dot on the hatchery. Has Cold realized? I don't think he has. He's not pulling away. He's going for an all-in attack. But I want to watch the nuke. It's going to be so huge. Oh man, all of the remaining drones are going to go down. There we go. Boom, once again. And GG. Radley cleans up the final drones. And the game ends with Net Wars up 2-0.
Never know what hit 'em.
Nuclear launch detected.
Okay, now starting in the top right hand position, we do have Fighting for Ash in the... Okay guys, we are back with our second game of this replay of the grand finals of season 1. Obviously it's not the actual grand finals again, it is them meeting up in the group stage here. We just saw Noob take down Iris in that amazing PvT. And now we're going to be heading into a bit of a TVT here with Scan, rank 2 in the STPL, winning 9 of his 10 last games. He's 7 for 1 against Terran, an amazing Terran player, and his opponent going to be for White Clan. It's Tengu. Now Tengu has only played 1 game so far for White. He has won it. He beat 0 on Multiverse. Let's see how he's going to do against the rank 2 player overall. As they get into our third map here, or our second map even, my bad. It's going to be on Carthage 3. Now, Carthage 3, a very, very fun map. We have seen a single TVT here before. We've actually seen 2 of them. So, interestingly, my statistics are bugged. I've just noticed that. Thank you, my stream, for pointing that out. Oh, yeah, Tengu 0 was a walkover. Thank you for reminding me of something else I forgot to do. But yeah, Astro took down Flymeo here, and Bai took down Pinkbrush. Both of them really... Oh, Astro versus Flymeo was a... It was... that's why, it's because that was a walkover. That was the one from just now. I forgot about that. So yeah, it is only 1 TVT. I remembered I fixed the stats so it doesn't show the amount of walkovers we've had. So regardless, let's get into game number 2. It's 1 AM for CRVT. It's 11 PM for me. And it's a good time for a TVT. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position from South Korea, fighting for SouL, we have the one and only STPL number 2. It's Scan. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right position for White Clan. In the navy blue, it's Tengu. Now, one thing to note, this is a TBT. We have not seen any TBT from Tengu, but we've seen a good number from Scan. And Scan, his highest win streak against Terran was 6 wins. So this is a scary, scary player in TBT. His average game duration against Terran is only 13 minutes. So, well, it's like nearly 14. So maybe we will have... maybe we'll have a relatively quick TBT here, but obviously on Carthage 3, where the map is very, very narrow, where there's very, very few points of attack, we could have a game that rivals the longest game in STPL history that was on BlitzX. It was Kiko versus J1, and that was 1 hour and 6 minutes. TBT definitely one of my favorite series, or one of my favorite matchups, should I say. So I'm really looking forward to this game. Watching Scan TBT is an absolute treat for me, because he always plays really, really well. Now looks like Scan going to actually miss Scout in the middle here. A little bit uncharacteristic of him, but I guess maybe he forgot. Looks like Tengu's going to do the same thing. It is kind of important to check there as well, just in case someone's building a proxy barracks, because if you get 8 racks from there or something, it's very, very embarrassing. Obviously 8 racks doesn't do too much in TBT unless you go 14cc, and that's not something we'll see from either player regardless. Now, Tengu is going to get his expansion up a little bit quicker, and Scan is going to get his up right after as well. Obviously Tengu building his barracks close to his natural. Now, Scan gonna do a pretty good job here of harassing the SCV, just making it very, very annoying, forcing another SCV to be pulled at least until the Marine spawned. Just really, really annoying. A little bit of damage, but obviously little by little, all that little damage does add up. Now, Refinery coming in from Tengu, Refinery coming in from Scan. Perfectly normal build so far. Based on what we've seen from Scan, I think he's likely going to go up to 5 factories on 2 base, then expand from there. At least in his previous TBTs that I've seen. It's been a while since I've seen one. Cherry was one of the last Terrans to play against him from White Clan. That was actually in the grand finals of Season 1. And Scan, unfortunately, lost that game. But fortunately for us, it meant we led into the ace match. So I'm really, really hoping we'll get another ace match here. That would be really, really exciting to see. And since we've been kind of speedrunning the series so far, obviously this series looks like it could be the longest. Obviously we had an ace match between Rev and Net Wars, but the games themselves weren't actually that long. But we just had like a 25-minute TVP. We could very, very, very easily have an over 30-minute TVP here because of the map and everything. Now, single factory coming in for Scan, single factory coming in from Tengu. Both of them should be adding on a second factory right after this. Now, oh, looks like Scan is going to go for... Is he going for triple factory? No, he's actually going to send that up. Look to add to his economy as natural. Now, there's a few options you have in TBT. You can open up 3 factory and go mass vulture. You can open 2 factory and go mass tank. Looks like Scan is going to go for 3 fact here. No armory just yet from Scan, so there's going to be no early Goliath. So this is going to be a vulture opening. Tengu on the other side of the map is going to go for 2 factories for the time being. Looks like we're going to have a... Not an armory. Okay, no armory just yet. Oh my god, Scan actually coming in with 3 Marines. This is not a common attack. He is going to be able to get 1 SCV. At the very least, he gets 2 SCVs. And that's going to give him the supply lead in SCVs at least. So that's a little bit of a cool attack. Looks like he did... Did he land his barracks up here or something? I guess he must have done. Okay, interestingly, still no armory for either player. Now, oh, okay, so we do have an armory coming in from Tengu. Now, one of the more traditional ways of playing TVT is something people don't realize, but when you go back and watch Boxer TVTing, it was pretty much Mass Vulture versus Mass Vulture for the longest time, just because you didn't have a second gas at your natural, but now you get gases, like, from 2005, 2004 onwards, maybe like 2007 or 6 or something. I'm really bad with, like, actual history, but, like, in terms of styles, like, Mass Goliath, Mass Tank came into fruition, and you got a lot of dropship play. Now, dropship play has kind of rotated out a little bit recently. Obviously, we still get those epic long, hour-long TVTs with mass dropships into mass battle cruisers, but one of the more conventional ways to play is you go Mass Vulture into Mass Tank, and then you just basically play super aggro because your Vultures soak up a lot of damage from the tanks. You can see Scan hasn't even added on his second gas yet, so he is going to be building nothing but Vultures. As I said, I correctly guessed this. He's going into 5 factories. Tengu doing exactly the same thing, so we have a very traditional looking TVT here. Now, the reason why Vultures are strong early game is obviously they do not set off the opponent's mines, they are very fast, and they also lay mines themselves, and even though mines don't help against the Vultures, they give you map vision, and map vision in a TVT is absolutely the most important thing in the game, because unlike in any of the other matchups, your army is very immobile in TVT. You're likely going to set up some siege lines, build turrets behind them, and go for air, because that's how TVT usually plays out. But if you go Vulture Tank, you can forego that, and you can actually just push over and over again and trade really well in siege lines. Now, no +1 attack coming in just yet from Tengu, but he is building up his Vulture count. Now, Scan has not missed a beat with his macro here. He's keeping up in supply with Tengu, and just look at how many Vultures he has. Like, if Scan... I mean, obviously if Scan tries to engage here, he's going to have trouble, but what I really want to do is when we get to a point where we've seen both players lay all their mines, I want to just show you the map vision, and we'll have a look at just how important it is. Okay, it looks like Scan going to go around. Tengu doesn't have his mines just yet. He's finally starting to lace them down, but they're not in a good spot, and oh, Scan is going to try and come in for a little bit of a flank here. It's going to be Vulture on Vulture. This is something that's very hard to predict, but good target firing from Scan by the looks of it. Target firing super important in Vulture versus Vulture, but it looks like Tengu, with the defender's advantage, definitely has a better engagement there, and the trouble is, much like Speedlings versus Speedlings, if you're running, or I guess it's more like Muter versus Muter, if you're running away, you're just taking more and more damage. Now Tengu, he's going to feel a little bit more confident here. Now Scan, still laying mines all over the map. Very important to not lose Vultures with mines in them, because if you do that, it's wasted supply. This always makes me laugh. If we look at Scan's vision, he doesn't see any mines, obviously, and if we look at Tengu's vision, he also doesn't see any, but they are dotted in together. In case you didn't realize, there is a way of telling the color of the mines apart by just looking at the edge of them. It's really super important to look out for that. But looks like we are going to have Tengu trying and go for an engagement. It's still Mass Vulture versus Mass Vulture. Scan with the high ground with a lot of these Vultures. Okay, I'm going to have to zoom out even further. This is so hard to keep everything on one screen. But look at this, we do have Vulture on Vulture still. Scan is now the one pushing up from the high ground, but Scan taking an overwhelming victory in that engagement, going up by 30 supply. That is a massive victory here from Tengu. He didn't lay all of his mines even, I don't think. So Tengu definitely not in the best spot now. Scan with a big advantage, but obviously it is TVT. It's still Mass Vulture versus Mass Vulture. Now the single Goliath is going to take quite a lot of damage here, but do a lot of damage as well. Nice wall in at the front of Tengu's natural, going to give him the ability to hold on to this. And he's now going into Goliaths, and Goliaths absolutely wreck Vultures like nobody's business. They blow up mines very quickly. But I mean, just let's take a look to marvel at Scan's map vision. Just look at this. He sees over half of the map now. There is no way a dropship is going to go undetected. Funnily enough, he cannot build a CC up here because he doesn't want to scan to kill the mine, unless he's just not realized. But we've got tanks here coming in from Tengu now. He's going into a third command center himself. It's going to be before Scans is. It's so funny in TBT. It makes it so difficult when you have mines against mines, because it just looks like someone's attacking someone else. Yeah, Scan is very, very good. Now, I'm really excited to see when Scan actually comes back out the army properly, because that's when we're going to see him try and qualify for the big tournaments. Now, his teammate in Biol, his teammate in Zealot, both of them have made it into ASL. I believe Noob qualified for KSL this season. I can't remember for sure, but I seem to remember his name popping up. At least he got very deep in the qualifiers. So SouL are doing really well in Korea right now. There's actually a little bit of a discussion going on about SouL and sort of how they operate and everything, but that's all behind the scenes, so nothing to worry about there. But SouL are a very, very cool team. They're kind of more like, this is a clan and team league, but they're kind of more like a professional team than anything else. Like, the players, if they go out and win their games, they do win a little bit of money. It's not much, but it's essentially an incentive to try their best. And it's why SouL always do the best out of anyone. Like, they're foreign players, very, very strong. Models, for instance, winning the New York City LAN. Winning, or coming very close to winning the LA LAN. And it's just, it's really cool to see their players doing so well. And White Clan, obviously, one of the most storied clans in Korea. They've been around in Brood War since 1998. Some of the best pro players to have ever touched the game are members of White Clan. Best, Mind, Shuttle, Haya, 815, Sastry, who obviously did quite well in KSL. Just lots of really, really, really cool players in White Clan. So it's a real pleasure to watch both of these teams going up against each other. Bringing up the big names like Models. But yeah, Bonnet as well, obviously very, very strong. But Models has got, like, out of their foreign players, the best results recently in terms of tournaments. Now, well, obviously Bonnet winning Corrupted Cup is probably the biggest result. But Bonnet is going to be in the next series, the next game even. Now look at this, Scan pushing forward, clearing out some of the mines, looking to start putting forward a map split. Obviously splitting the map, very, very important in TVT. There are so many mines, it's hard to tell where the units end and the mines begin. But that's part of the fun in TV. Oh, the mine, oh, that could have been difficult. But both players very, very even in supply. Scan taking a position to be able to take this gas base. He's got, looks like Tengu has got tanks here blocking this location. Tengu pushing forward, trying to get a position over the natural expansion of Scan. But nice tank line at the back here. Gonna make this a little bit harder to push through. And the rates coming in as well. Gonna make this very, very difficult. Now, no upgrades. Yeah, oh, we've got +1 for Scan. No upgrades for Tengu. +1 is only about half the way done. So obviously there's a big advantage for Scan in this game. Fourth base coming in for Scan. The same cannot be said for Tengu, but both players on even supply once again. Scan with an SCV advantage. But obviously that does leave him with a few less units. Now, Scan has a lot of his supply in these wraiths, so if the wraiths cannot do anything, he's not going to be able to do too much. Now, Tengu actually has a lot of vultures still. He's been looking to do some pushing of his own. This is going back to what I said at the beginning of the series, where essentially in TVP, or in TVT even, you can kind of push with mass vulture, mass tank. And it looks like Tengu, though, is just going to maybe try to push to secure his fourth base. Now, as I said, this is likely going to go into a longer game here. Both of these Terran players incredibly evenly matched. Oh, the mines. Okay, that could have been bad. But luckily enough, he just managed to deal with it. Now, we're going to have a split map situation here, most likely. Scan doesn't have any tanks up here to stop this. And if we see both players completely splitting the map down the middle, we could have a very cool BC versus BC game here. Now, we do have Valkyries coming up here for Tengu. Very, very important to go for those when you're up against mass Wraiths. They are super, super strong. They absolutely melt Wraiths entirely. We've got Wraiths coming in from Tengu as well. So we're going to have Wraith Valk versus Wraith. I don't think we have Scan going. Oh my god, he's going to go into BCs. Look at this. Triple Starport on the way. Double ship upgrades. Physics lab going to be coming in here very, very shortly after this, most likely. There is something being killed, but I think it's just mines. Oh no, he's actually killing a few of the units. Super, super important. Scan taking a massive, massive map advantage here with his positioning. Now, still no physics lab just yet. Scan has a much bigger gas bank though than his opponent. Are we going to see the Valkyries getting revealed? Looks like he is going to hide them for now. Going to try and rely on nothing but Goliaths just to try and push them away to begin with. He does... Essentially, you want to get critical mass with the Valkyries to just completely one-shot all of the Wraiths. Now, I thought this was going to be for BCs, but he is going for double air upgrades. No upgrades available as of yet, but there is no physics lab just yet. He needs to really get those extra 3 bases mining. We've got the 5th gas coming in here. Tengu doesn't actually have a base over here just yet, so a little bit unfortunate. His base here is very much delayed as well. Now look at the Wraiths. There is around about 12 of them in this control group. We have 3 Valkyries now, 4 Valkyries with a 5th on the way, but he's actually... Yeah, he's supply blocked, so he can't actually finish this off. His main base about to mine out. This is very normal in a TBT. Okay, so the Wraith's going to take down this engineering bay here. Just make it a little bit more annoying. Stops any additional turrets being added on. No real pushing going on anywhere right now because both players, they can't really afford to lose their units. Now, it looks like Tengu might opt to push up this high ground. Now, we'll see just how strong +2 tanks are. Do we have +2 coming up? Yeah, we do, but it's not done. He's pushing a complete anti-timing here before he gets +2 attack. Very, very weird, but look at the mines. Oh, the mines don't actually go off on the tanks. The tanks that were by the mines die first. So he is going to be able to break up onto this position. That is a very nice position to take. But essentially, all it's going to afford him the ability to do is take his 5th base a little bit easier. Now, look at this tank positioning from Scan. Just adding a couple of tanks into the middle, making it very, very difficult to push forward. Now Tengu maybe being a little bit too bold with his tanks here. Doesn't want to push into the tanks of Scan. But looks like he is going to try to. Now we've got 2 attack. Almost... Oh my god, here come the Wraiths. Where are the Valkyries? Where are the Valkyries? I do not want to miss when they come in because they are going to absolutely destroy everything here. Now the Valkyries... He's got 6 Valks. My goodness, these Wraiths are going to melt when he chooses to attack, but it looks like he's not quite ready. He's waiting. But the trouble is, by waiting, he's going to lose these tanks. He's going to lose this base. There's Valkyries for Scan as well. And Scan has got 1-1. These are going to be unupgraded Valkyries against 1-1 Wraiths. This is definitely going to go a little bit better here for Scan, and Scan is dominating the positioning of this game. Like, his positioning on the map is so good. He always has units in the perfect locations, and he's going to take this base most likely. If he grabs this extra gas, it's pretty much game over. Tengu is, I mean, he's still quite even in supply, but he can't make anything happen anywhere. Scan has amazing defense pretty much everywhere. I mean, Tengu holds this high ground pod, but it secures nothing. Scan has now taken this base over here. He's going to add turrets here. He's going to build a command center. And unlike Scan, Tengu doesn't have a bank. He's not got this massive amount of money. He's still adding on Valks though. How many Valkyries is he going to go up to? I mean, this is the kind of play that can either win you the game or lose it. Like, if you think These Valks, they cost 4 supply each. I think it is. It might be 3. Maybe I'm wrong here. Valk man, unfortunately, could get this a little bit wrong, but here we go. Where are the Valkyries? Here they go. Okay, so we're gonna have a big air engagement here, and we're gonna see the power of Valkyries. But look at this scan, sensing something is a bit up. Gonna move back once again. Okay, now the funny thing is, Valk versus Valk is kind of weird, because they don't really do any damage to each other, but obviously the Wraith's going to be the big power play. If you can clear the Wraiths, you can win the game, so the Valks are finally showing themselves, making it known to Scan, hey, you don't want to push into me right now, and I mean, Tengu's going to be able to take out this base, and he's going to be able to secure it for himself more importantly. Now look at this, the Wraiths of Scan. He's got 3 control groups of Wraiths here, I think. Maybe 2, actually. 2 control groups of Wraith and a load of Valkyries. But look how many Goliaths there are. Look how many tanks there are as well. I mean, the tanks aren't too important in this, but here we go. Scan going down. The Valkyries getting a ton of damage on the Wraiths. Look at how quickly the Wraiths are dying. A terrible engagement from Scan. That's exactly what Tengu needed. And that's just brought him back in the game. If he can secure the extra base, his base is going to mine out a lot slower. Look at this. The gas is already depleted over here. These are very small gas bases. And Scan has just wasted so many units. Now, we do have a physics lab done. There are battle cruisers on the way. Every single bit of gas that Scan has is going to be going into BCs now, and Valkyries do absolutely nothing against battle cruisers. As essentially, this game is still anyone's game. Obviously, Scan with a massive swing in BCs. If he can catch these Goliaths, he's going to be in a good spot as well. I mean, I don't know why Tengu's pushing forward here. He's just going to waste his Goliaths. He wants to try and break through, but he needs the Goliaths against the BCs, but he doesn't know they're coming. Scan now taking a 50 supply lead. Certainly not a position Tengu wants to try and recover from, but this is, of course, a TVT, and all is possible. We're about to have these BCs come out onto the field. Tengu does not really have an answer to them. He doesn't have mass starports like his opponent does. He doesn't have ship weapons yet. That's coming in. And Scan is actually going to use this opportunity to try and break through. And look at this. The battle cruisers have arrived. A lot of them already, building 6 at a time. Now Scan's gas bank is going to deplete very quickly by doing this, but he is going to solidify his lead if he keeps these alive. And Tengu, unfortunately, it's 3 attack versus 2 attack, and he is just hemorrhaging units right now to Scan's amazing positioning. And all of these Valkyries, he has so much supply tied up in these Valks right now, and they are going to do, once again, absolutely nothing. There's still a good number of Wraiths, which is going to allow him to be able to clear those out. But the BCs are the main story. He's going to build up energy for Yamato. He's got 2-2 on his upgrades. I don't see a way that Tengu can win this game now. Scan has done such an incredible job just out-positioning his opponent all game long. And Tengu just does not have enough. Like, he's traded so inefficiently so many times. The best moment in this game for him was killing all the Wraiths, and then he didn't secure the base. And that's what he needed to do. Now, if he had his own Wraiths behind this, he could have killed all of the tanks after he killed all of Scan's Wraiths, but he spent all of his money on Valkyries. Okay, so Scan securing this base up here. Tengu getting a good scan on it. Gonna see just how far behind he is, but has he seen the BCs just yet? I don't think so. 6 battle cruisers gonna be moving their way across the map. And when we see these battle cruisers engage these Valkyries, you'll see why Valkyries are so weird. Like, Valks They're very good against Wraiths and TVT. They can be good against mass dropship, but against BCs they do like 1 damage or something. It's kind of crazy. Like a Valk attack on its own does 9 damage per rocket. A BC, if I can find them, a BC has 6 armor with +3 armor, so the Valks are only doing 3 damage a shot, which is not that much, especially given the BCs have 500 health. So, and in comparison, Valkyries have 2 base armor, or 1 base armor, no, 2 base armor and 1 plus. And the BC, its anti-air attack does 30 damage. Or more than 30. Oh my god, the Yamato is doing so much. This is bound to be game. Like, Tengu has done his best to try and hold on. There we go, GG. Tengu taps out Scan with a well-played TVT. Gonna take SouL up 2-0. And yeah, this is, I'm definitely not a different commentator. I was commentating earlier as well, like I don't know what games you were watching. But yeah, that's it. That's game number 2. We're going to head into game number 3 when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon. Neo Arkanoid also makes its appearance in STPL Season 2, a map from 2006. It's from the OGN Star League from back then, one of the early OSLs. And it's a semi-island map. I think one of the first of its kind that got major use after about the year 2004. It's one of a kind. I don't think I've ever seen another map like it. There's temples and power generators absolutely everywhere, making it very difficult to get through the middle of the map. The air units, of course, going to be very important here. The one problem all 3 races are going to have is the very easy to take 2nd and 3rd bases. They both have gas, but they are blocked by those chrysalises, so it makes it important to build a few aggressive units early on in order to get that 2nd and 3rd gas as soon as you can. Important thing to note, if you do open up that center, the rush distance is very small. Next up, we have the 2009 map that was used in Pro League. It is New Tornado. New Tornado is a relatively standard 4-player map. There is only 3 bases in each corner, very much like Fighting Spirit. That was kind of the style at the time of these kind of macro maps. The main and natural look perfectly normal, lots of buildable space. There is a high... Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. We're here for game number 3 between SouL and White Clan. It's going to be a PvP, starting us off here with Bonith. Bonith, an ex-Net Wars member, moving over to SouL for Season 2. He is an incredibly good player. He's 7-for-1 against Protoss, winner of the Corrupted Cup 2019. And a very strong opponent. For his opponent here, it's going to be Cubic for White Clan. Cubic has a 71% win rate overall. He's 0-1 against Protoss. He lost. Oh, yeah, okay. Cubic used to be on IRK, and then he moved over to White Clan because he was double clanning. So Cubic, I was like, how did he lose against his teammate? But he played against him last year. So if you wonder why my voice sounds a bit different as well, I have been casting for nearly 4 hours. So solo casting is very difficult on your voice. So that's why I may sound a bit different. Let's have a look at the map they're going to be playing on. It's going to be Desperado. PvP certainly does not look very normal here. And the PvPs we've had have all been incredibly good. So I'm hoping this one is going to be good as well as we head into game number 3. It's Bonith versus Cubic on Desperado. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand position, we do have the Magenta Protoss fighting from Poland for for SouL. Damn, it's Bonith. Going into muscle memory there. His opponent spawning down here in the bottom left hand side in the pink, fighting for White Clan from South Korea. It's Cubic. To answer your question, Stuff Pink Owl, I don't really think I'm qualified enough to say if the Koreans just chose StarCraft 1 over StarCraft 2. I mean, the StarCraft 2 community in Korea is still really big. It's just a lot of the big names came back to StarCraft 1. And I mean, White Clan have been a clan in Korea since 1998. They are a fully Korean clan, minus me as their like official caster, and Telecom, one of their players from the USA. And SouL are they're basically a South American Korean hybrid clan. So they've got South Americans, they've now got a Polish person as well, and they also have a lot of South Koreans, so it's kind of cool. I love that. It's like, so where you from? Poland. You? Korea? Question mark? Okay. I mean, if I was Kesper right now, I'd be banning both of these players for typing too much, but it's entertaining, so it's all good. Okay, Nexus first. Oh my god, 12 Nex? Cubic going for a 12 Nex against Bonith. Someone get TT1 in here. Bonith needs to kill this because 12 Nex should not work in PvP. It's kind of funny, back when I was casting with SouL when he was super active in 2017. I mean, SouL used to, like, 12 Nex is the meme build in PvP. It just should not work. Like, in no circumstance should 12 Nex ever work. Yeah, and the mining speed in the main is actually quite fast here because the minerals are quite close to the nexuses. But we got 2 gate, oh no, 1 gate, 1 forge coming in for Cubic. This is very important because of course he is going 12 next. Now, has Bonith checked for this? He's going to now. He's going to see the nexus coming in. Now, what is Bonith's choice going to be? Is he just going to expand as well? Or is he going to proxy a robo? Now, one of the ways I've seen TT1 kill someone 12 nexing is you just proxy a robo in the middle of the map and wander a reaver up to the cannons, because the cannons are essentially all that Cubic is going to have to defend for a very, very long time. Now, Bonith is going to go back in. I think he's trying to find a proxy location. Yeah, here we go. He's going to build a pylon here. Now, Cubic is going to scout this. But newsflash, what's he going to use to kill it? Is he going to send his cannons over to kill that pylon? No. He is going to be up against a single zealot. 2 probes out here, though, actually trying to bully away the probe of Bonith. This is like the best move that Cubic could possibly be making in this situation. Bonith actually taking a little bit of damage from his zealot. This is not a characteristic of him. Now, here we go. There's the robo. The probe does go down, but there's a dragoon here now. That's going to help clean up all of these units. And there's going to be no recompense for this. Look at Cubic. What does he have? Another zealot? 2 cannons that can't move? If Bonith gets a reaver over here, that's it. He's going to bust the front. Now, Bonith back at home does not have a ton of gateways, so he's not built 2 gate or anything. He's not expanding. Obviously, there is just a single zealot here. He sent his dragoon up to chase one of the other zealots. But there is a second zealot back here. Again, the robo will finish And Bonneth should immediately go into a support bay. Now, I don't think the colors are too similar, but I can always change it to red versus blue if you're having trouble. Now, Cubic has been forced to pull probes that even on work account, Bonneth has done a very good job keeping up in workers, given the fact he's up against someone with 2 Nexuses. So really, really well done by Bonneth. Bonneth continuing to kill more and more units of Cubic. And I definitely think Bonneth should win this game. Now, this is very, very unfortunate because obviously if Bonneth wins, we will not have an ace match. But Bonneth hasn't won this 100% just yet. This is the big story. The Robo Support Bay Observatory is coming in as well to make sure he doesn't die against DTs. Second gateway coming in from Cubic. Second gas as well. There are 2 gases in the main, none of the natural. Very interesting map here. Okay, so the Reaver coming in. This is going to be the big, almost killing blow, I would say. Just a single Reaver. If he gets very, very unlucky with the angling and the Reaver walks into the cannons, then maybe Cubic has a chance. But this is why 12 next doesn't work. If someone just builds a Reaver outside of your base and just walks it up and kills your cannons, what are you going to do? You can't fight that. Now, there's a saying in the STPL that there is a 6-minute curse where games end between 6 and 7 minutes. Is this going to be one of them? We'll have to see, as I don't think Cubic is going to be able to hold on against this. It's going to be very, very difficult. Now, we do have Templar Archives coming in, so there will be DTs on the way here. And look at this, the Reaver can't actually attack the cannons properly because of the weird diagonals. Look, I mean, Bonneth just killing cannons over and over again. This is so much wasted money. And Cubic, this is kind of like watching a ZBT where the Terran is sieging the natural of the Zerg, where you're just adding more, you're adding more and more cannons just to force the Reaver to be shooting at that, not your units. Because if the Reaver hits your units, that's it. And here we go, looks like he's going to try and jump in. Can he get the Reaver? No! He does pull back though before losing too much. He gets the Observer though. That is incredibly important because look at this. 2 DTs are on the way. Now Bonneth has used Reavers to kill DTs without detection before in the STPL. I saw him do it in one of the TL Opens as well. He is going to target fire one of his own units. And I mean, Cubic is holding on. And Cubic does have finally... Oh wait, one of the Dragoons died, but here we go, the DT getting on top of the Reaver unable to attack its own friendly unit, and Cubic's gonna hold on. There's a, oh my god, the Ob's coming in, but the second Reaver goes down. This is exactly what Cubic needed to do, and he's still building cannons. He's still just pulling back, just holding as far steady as he can. Now, will Bonneth lose the second Observer? That's gonna be a big story in this game. Okay, so we have Storm on the high ground now. This is going to be another massive component in this army when Psystorm comes in. I mean, Bonneth lost his 2 Reavers. He didn't win the game. And that's what Cubic needed to do. So we are going to go into a more normal PvP here. Bonneth, a little uncharacteristically, having a lot of idle workers, but it's because he's so focused on his macro at the front that he doesn't want to lose the game to it. Now the Reaver coming back in, but this Storm is going to do so much damage. Look how slowly the Reaver walks out of the Storm. Not a position you want to be in. Oh, he's trying to dodge it. Never in a million years would you imagine to see a High Templar and Reaver dance in Brood War. But here we go, both players dancing back and forward with the slowest units in the game. Okay, there goes the Storm on top of the Reaver. The Reaver's going to go down. The DTs, though, both go down at the same time. Nice target firing by Bonneth. And he's got another Reaver prepared. Now, there is an Archon coming in here. That is not going to be long for this world. That'll go down almost immediately once it's finished. No! Oh my god, he saves it. That is so important to keep these units alive. Now, taking a bunch of damage to a single cannon. Not the best move on the Dragoon, but he's focused so hard on... Oh my god, he's going to lose the Reaver. He's going to lose another Reaver. Cubic is doing an incredible job this game. A great defense. Wow, and he's going to lose the Robo now. There's going to be no additional Reavers. A Shuttler's coming out. That's not going to help him. Oh my god, he's going to lose the Shuttler as well. Wow, why didn't he just fly that south? A little bit unfortunate there, but the 2 Dragoons that Bonneth has are going to go back home. Now, obviously, Cubic has wasted a ton of money on cannons. He had to cut probes to do that. So Bonneth has a very, very big economy advantage right now. We've got 6 gateways for Bonneth. Let's double check in the main of Cubic. Looks like he's got 6 gateways as well, going up to a 7th. We're going to see a Robo finally coming in from Cubic. That's very, very important because you cannot afford to skip obs, regardless of if your opponent is going DT or not. Yeah, Bonneth. I mean, Bonneth is in a really, really good spot now. Cubic is doing his best. And in the situation, given the situation as well, he did enough to survive. And is that going to be enough? Now, there's no obs. So these 3 DTs from Cubic, from Bonneth even, he can't kill them. Oh no, he's going to lose all of his army. Oh my god, if he loses these High Templar, this is just it. He's going to try and storm the main army. The DTs could focus down these High Templar. Cubic's throwing away all of his units here, and that is so unfortunate because Cubic had a chance in this game, and I think he may have just thrown it away. There's an additional 3 Dragoons going to be falling back. Now, we said that game in Noob versus Iris when Noob was getting his base kicked in, and we thought the game was over. But is there some miracle here where Cubic can hold on? Where Bonneth is unable to break through? I'm not so sure. But if there's one man that can do it here, it's Cubic. White Clan, obviously, a very, very strong clan here in Season 2. And they have very, very strong players as well. Now, Bonneth maybe doesn't want to try and throw too much away, so he's being a little bit apprehensive, but don't forget he is going to be fighting into 5 cannons from earlier, which is going to make this a little bit harder. But the DTs are the main story. If the DTs get into the mineral line, it's just going to be game over. But look at this, the cannons hold strong. Bonneth takes a ton of damage and pulls back, not really achieving anything. Okay, we've got +1 attack coming in for Bonneth, so a little bit of an anti-timing there as well. Not really waiting for his upgrades. His 3rd base is coming in though, and that's going to be a big story. Now, Cubic is only 7 supply behind. His army is very, very strong right now. Bonneth does not have that many units out the front. I have no idea where Bonneth's army is. Oh, it's all the way back in his natural. I don't know why he didn't just send it, because he's going to lose more and more units. Now, there is a triple DT drop, and that is going to be going into the main. Now, there is a cannon up here, but if he drops on the cannon is going to die. So let's have a look, see how much damage you can do with this. DTs have won lost games before, and they've also lost 1 game. So look at this. He's going to drop on the cannon. The cannon goes down immediately. The probes are going to go down, and this is going to be a winning move for Bonneth, I think. Wait. Oh my god, the probes killed DTs? Okay, Cubic going to try and push in at the top there. 2 of the DTs going down though, so Bonneth not getting as much damage done as he wants. The DT following the probes into the cannon. Going to clean those up. And yeah, probes better than DTs in this game, guys. If Bonneth loses his 3rd base, maybe Cubic can secure his own. He's going to lose a ton of probes over here. But Cubic's army is actually going to get himself stuck up here. He does have the option of going out the other way. But if he kills the Nexus, if he gets all of the probes, he's going to even things up yet again. Oh, that's a massive storm on Bonneth's army. That is very, very important to be able to get that. There's another storm almost ready. The Dragoons of Cubic, very, very low on health though, so does need to be careful. Unable to get the 3rd Nexus. And is going to trade away his entire army in this location. Now, is the next storm ready? 3 energy left. 2, 1. Can he get the storm? Yes, he can. Another big storm. Going to take down one of the High Templar and do a ton of damage to one of the Dragoons. Now, that was huge damage done by Cubic, but he traded his entire army to do that. Now, is it going to be enough? Poor Nyoken here in the stasis cell, gonna get taken down, and Bonneth is gonna look to take a 4th base here to try and secure his advantage. Cubic only now just trying to take that 3rd Nexus. Now, we're at the stage in PvP where Storm Drops can kind of end the game, so let's see if either player is going to go for that. We don't have a shuttle on the way here. There's no support bay for speed shuttles for Cubic. He can't really afford it right now, but Bonneth is certainly in a position to do it. Do we have speed shuttles? No. Okay, so there's going to be no harassment, at least for the time being. Both players just kind of consolidating their armies in the middle of the map and going for what they can. Okay, Bonneth with a massive, massive army. Let's check the upgrades. +1 for Bonneth, +1 for Cubic. But you can even see from the dots on the map how big Bonneth's army is in comparison. Although taking an engagement like this isn't the best position to be in. Looks like Bonneth managed to kill one of the High Templar though, which is a pretty big pick-off. And Cubic, he's going to be forced back into his natural again. This isn't somewhere where he really wants to go, but this is going to be big, big storms on top of the army. And if he storms all of the Zealots here, maybe Cubic can hold on, but no, it looks like Cubic once again is getting broken. But a lot of the Zealots very low on health, going to have to retreat. And Bonneth doesn't actually yet know about the 6 o'clock base, so looks like I am going to be taken out now. This is me in this stasis cell. Rest in peace, Kicks, unfortunately. Bonneth with the 4th base still. Oh, he's actually up now to 8 gateways. Pretty good. Cubic is also... Wait, Cubic has 9 gateways, so Cubic is really powering off these 2 bases. Trouble is, though, if you're powering this hard, your economy isn't that great, but both players have so few probes, like... We're 16 minutes into the game and they only have 50 workers each. Like, that seems very, very low. Cubic with the cannons, obviously going to do a lot of work here. Now Cubic going to try and push out. There is no obs here anymore. So DT is going to do a ton of damage. But is Cubic just going to lose all of his army before the DTs can really make a difference? Oh, and here we go. Speed shuttle coming in to the natural. He's got 4, or into the main even. 4 High Templar. This could be a very big play in this game. A big storm on most of the workers. He's just going to storm every single worker that Cubic has in his main. I mean, Cubic won the engagement in the middle with some very well placed DTs, but he lost a huge number of probes there. And the High Templar are going to get back out. Okay, now... There are 4 DTs here from Cubic. These KP boys going to be trying to run up to do some damage, but Bonneth has been adding the cannons of his own. Is there... Well, there's still no observer with this army, though. Oh my god, if he loses his army to DTs again, that's actually a really, really poor decision by Bonneth, but looks like we've got another Storm Drop coming in. Didn't get any probes this time and did lose the 3 High Templar. So that's actually a massive moment in this game. But look at Bonneth's army. It's just so, so big right now. Okay, an additional couple of cannons coming in here. This is not going to help him. The supply is still very, very similar. The worker supply exceedingly similar as well. Bonneth nearly mined out this main. His natural is going to be... Well, it's about halfway done. Cubic nearly mined out this natural. Nearly mined out of his main. His main's actually a little bit healthier because he lost so many probes there, but when Cubic's on a timer, he needs to survive and he needs to secure a 4th base, but if he can't, it's going to be game over. Now, +2 attack is done for Bonneth. +1 still for Cubic. His forge is not spinning again, so any further engagements, Bonneth is going to have an advantage. Now, this is a really, really well played game by Bonneth. Looks like we're going to have another big engagement in the middle. Nice storm on both sides. DT's still here, though. There's no observer still. The observer's at the back of the army. But Bonneth just might have too much. It doesn't matter how many DTs you've got. Looks like he's broken through. Cubic, unfortunately, has run out of steam here in this game. He's going to fall back. see if he can try and hold on a little bit later with his cannons. But a nice storm going down, killing a few of the dragoons. And the final 2 dragoons falling back to the cannons here to see if yet again he's able to hold on. But the 4th base has been killed, or cancelled, I believe that was, by Bonnet here. And things are going to stabilize just a little bit. There we go. Cubic taps out. GG. And Bonnet takes game number 3. Okay, so obviously that was game number 3. It means SouL have won the series 3-0. We still do have another game to watch though, and as every single game matters in the STPL, we are going to cast it. It's going to be Spire versus Fairy. It's going to be a ZVZ, and it's coming up after this. See you guys very soon.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibby-dibby-dibby on do-do-do. Skibby-don-do-do-do. Skibby-dibby-dibby-don-do-do-do. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Bee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back to our final game of today. We won't introduce the players, I'll do that as we get into the game. Essentially, SouL have won the series 3-0. This is going to be White Clan's chance to get a little bit of pride back in and obviously get that all-important game win that could be the difference between them winning or making it to the playoffs or not. There was actually a team last season that were 1 game win away from knocking White Clan out of the round 4 playoffs, and they didn't manage it. So every single game matters. Starting us off here in the top middle in the red, fighting for SouL from South Korea, it is Spire. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner, fighting for White Clan, it's Fairy. Now, Fairy, a very, very strong player in White Clan. Spire, a very strong player in SouL. Spire's actually ranked 6 in the STPL. Now, Spire's actually going for a gas first. This is a very strange build. Okay, so it's going to be gas first into pool on 9 after Overlord. So, Spire's definitely got something interesting here going on. In terms of what Fairy's doing. Wait, Fairy did the same build. Is this like a new ZVZ build that's just sort of rampaging its way through Korea right now? I have never seen this build before. Gas first into Overlord into pool. All on 9. I can't think of a single STPL game I've seen this, so that's kind of cool. Seeing new innovations in ZVZ. And interestingly, both of them chose to do it at the same time. So we continue their mirror builds in mirror matchups in STPL. That's just how things go. Now, Spire, he's really, really good at ZVZ. Let's actually have a look at his win rate. He's actually 8-1 over Zerg. Fairy, has only played one Zerg, and he actually did win, but Fairy is actually an ex-Height Sparkies pro. Spire is an amateur player, so if you remember Fairy, if you're a fan of Brood War back in the day, you may have remembered his name, but if not, there's not too much to worry about. Obviously, we get to see him here. Now, both players going to be going into Lair here, relatively the same time. Obviously, both of them did go for mirror builds in the mirror matchup, so everything's quite normal. Both building the exact same number of lings, both even having pretty much the same number of gas as well. Now, Fairy, did Fairy go into speed? No, Fairy's mined a little bit less gas than Spire has, so Fairy, I'm not really sure where that extra money went. I guess it went into this hatchery. But then Spire's doing the same thing. How has Spire got so much more gas? Huh. I'm guessing Fairy must have not put as many units in, or as many drones into gas. So that realistically should mean that that Fairy had more minerals. And I guess that's how he got the hatchery a little bit quicker. Now, Spire coming up for Spire. Spire coming up for Fairy. Still, both very, very mirrored. Now we'll have to see how this plays out. Now this is a ZBC, so likely it's going to be a relatively quick game, but you never know what's going to happen. Now Fairy unfortunately has to take a concave at the bottom of the ramp, which does give Spire a little bit of an advantage pushing down. But it looks like Spire just kind of wants to stop Fairy from being able to push out. Now the Spire from Spire was marginally faster, not by much, but obviously every little helps in a mirror matchup. And until the Spires come in, there's not really too much to talk about. Now, looks like both players actually skipped speed as well, so yeah, that's definitely not speedlings. That is so weird. This is such a strange build. They're both going to be able to build so many mutelisks at once. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be 6 muters popping for Spire soon. And look at this. There's going to be 6 for Fairy as well. Oh wow, Fairy's actually going into some Scourge. Okay, that's a little bit of a difference here. Are we seeing the same thing from Spire? Nope, just pure muter from Spire, so it's going to come down to micro. It's kind of funny when you see the like mass... Oh wait, these are Spire's Overlords. I was going to say it's funny when you see the mass Overlord exodus from the bases, but looks like that's already happened, so... That's kind of funny. Okay, so we've got some of the lings being cleaned up here from Spire. Spire sending all of his muters around searching for some Overlord kills, but unfortunately unable to do it. And Fairy is going to be the one to find the first Overlord, but this could be a relatively quick engagement here, because if we see good muter micro from both sides here, I mean, that's why ZVZ was historically known as like the quickest match in Brood War, and it still is, but we still have some pretty amazing ZVZs. It's still kind of funny. Both players are completely even in supply, they're completely even in drone count, and they're completely even in unit count as well, so that's always good. Looks like Spire is going to be the one to try and take an expansion here. Obviously taking an expansion when you're behind, or when you're even, is very difficult to do, but oh my god, Fairy's gonna do the same thing. It's like these two are looking at each other's vision and just copying each other. Oh man, it's like, can I look at your homework? It's like, yeah, sure. Just don't make it look like you copied, so he's gonna build it a little bit later. Now, are we gonna see why Spire is 7 for 1 against Zerg, or is Fairy gonna be able to do a very big upset here? Kind of interesting to see, but looks like we do have 11 muters here for Spire. We've got 10 mutalisks for Fairy, but he obviously does have those Scourge. Now, Spire actually has a unit advantage now, at least in the air. Obviously, Fairy has a few additional lings on the ground, which is why the supply is still even. Neither player is really going to attack each other, because both of them are trying to expand. We've got the second gas coming in a lot quicker for Spire, but that means he spent 3 drones that are now no longer mining even. which is something that can be a little bit of a problem. It looks like Ferry actually opted to add a couple of drones in because Spire only used 2 of them to build the building, so he must have, Ferry must have snuck a couple in now. Looks like Ferry wants to be the one to be aggressive, trying to push in before the hatchery is done. Now this is really nicely done. Using the lings to make the, well, keep the Mutalist busy, and he's going to swoop in and do some damage. Now nice work getting 2 drones. Can he get away without taking any damage? That is the important question. The Mutalists are the important units in this fight, and it looks like Spire is actually doing a really good job. It's going to be 10 mutas, no, 12 mutas against 11. No, it was 10, sorry. It was 10 mutas against 9 nil. 2 additional Scourge coming in. We've got a couple of Lings coming in from Spire to do a little bit of counter damage. Spire still with a drone disadvantage, but obviously the Ling's going to take out another Overlord. The Muta's going to take out another Overlord, sorry. Oh, this is pretty bad here for Ferry. He's going to find himself supply block. That is not a position you want to be in against a Zerg player in a ZVZ. This is a really tense game. There's 10 mutas versus 10 mutas. Both of them have been hurt just about the same amount. Obviously, Ferry with a massive drone lead, still 3 additional drones on his opponent, so he is going to be able to pump out a lot more Mutalisks and a lot more Scourge, both of them mining fully from their second gases. Some Ling's going to try and sneak by, but Spire's Mutalisks already in position to deal with this now. He actually has more than one control group of mutas now. That's when things get a little bit harder. The same is going to be said for Ferry here. As soon as... Wait, has he built more drones? Oh, he built more Lings. Okay, that's interesting. He may just lose the straight up Muta fight here. Let's keep an eye on the numbers. There's 12 Mutas against 7. But the Scourge... Oh my god, the Scourge hits a massive... Oh, I think Spire's done it. Spire showing why he's 7 for 1 against Zerg. He gets an amazing engagement over the Mutalist of Ferry, and he is going to take game number 4 as well to make this a clean sweep for SouL. GG, Spire taps out, and GG, Ferry taps out, and Spire takes game number 4. Yeah. Okay, let's move over and have a quick look at that results screen. Looks like I've got the wrong thing selected. There we go, a 4-0 sweep for SouL. Every time SouL and White have faced, it's been incredibly close. The finals of Season 1 were a best of 7. We went to the ace match. The time they played before that was a best of 5. It went to the ace match, and SouL got their first victory over White. So this is going to be the 3rd victory SouL has over White now. An amazing win. The games were super close and super entertaining. It could have gone either way in many of those situations. But Spire, obviously, with a massive victory there over Ferry, is going to take the series 4-0 for SouL. Now that is going to be the end of the series for today. Obviously, thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you to everyone who's played their games. A massive thank you to our patrons as well as the supporters on Matcherino, and the biggest thank you to both of our sponsors, Liquipedia for the $500 to the prize pool and the bracket contest when we get to the playoffs, and also Matcherino for donating so many codes. The link in chat that Moobot just spammed, if you hit that, log in with your Twitch, it's all above board. You can enter the coupon code LSTPL and you can donate 50 cents to the prize pool completely free, courtesy of Matcherino. So once again, thank you so much everyone for watching, and I will see you guys on Monday for some more STPL. Hello everyone, Kicks here. I just recently got a new PC, so I thought I'd make this video finally. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you that are watching, and a massive thank you to those of you that have supported by donating and supporting on Patreon. It means a hell of a lot, and it is an absolutely massive help. I've just added another tier onto Patreon. We've got the $2 tier, which is just for the thank you message on stream. We have the $5 tier, which gives you access to all of the STPL replay files from the very beginning. There is over 1,000... Yeah, there's over 1,000 of them now, and it's growing every single week. I upload them weekly, so if you see some games you want to see from your favorite players, you can gain access to that. Now, I just added that new tier. Essentially, the new tier gives you access to send me 5 to 10 replays of your interesting games, and I will make you a 1 to 2 minute STPL highlight video like the one coming right up.